Most listeners trained on Western music share an unconscious baseline assumption about time. Underneath the melody of your favorite song, you expect to find an invisible, perfectly uniform grid. Whether it's a Beethoven symphony or a modern pop track, this system relies on absolute symmetry. You count it out evenly. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you travel to the Balkans, that grid fractures. You might encounter a piece in 7/8 time. To an untrained ear, it sounds like the musician is skipping a beat or literally limping. This immediate sense of instability raises a question. Why would an entire musical tradition deliberately engineer a groove that feels asymmetrical? That limp is entirely intentional. It is the audible result of an entirely different mathematical architecture for measuring human time. For centuries, Western classical music dedicated its genius to vertical harmony. Composers layered dozens of individual notes to create massive, rich chords. To keep these massive ensembles unified and perfectly synchronized across a concert hall, the rhythmic foundation had to become rigid and highly centralized. This relies on what is called isometric meter. It is a mathematical system that divides a given measure into perfectly equal, uniform fractions of time. You can see this structural equality directly on the manuscript page. In standard 4/4 time, every single beat occupies exactly the same amount of temporal space. In this system, time is treated like perfectly uniform bricks, designed to build symmetrical rooms that can support the heavy weight of complex harmonic structures. Eastern European folk traditions took an opposing path. In regions spanning Bulgaria, Macedonia, and Romania, time is not measured by division, but by addition. Known in Turkish as aksak, which translates to limping, this technique builds a single measure by gluing physically unequal blocks of time together. Instead of dividing a block of 7 into even fractions, the musician rearranges it into asymmetrical pulses. A 7/8 meter is grouped tightly as 3 + 2 + 2. This creates a distinct physical sensation. The shorter 2 counts feel clipped and urgent, while the 3 count feels stretched or elongated. Rather than massive orchestral unisons, these sharp, shifting pulses are driven by regional acoustic percussion, cutting through the air with absolute clarity. Additive rhythm is a mathematically rigorous choice. Folk musicians are actively building a shifting, dynamic structure out of deliberately uneven materials. These asymmetrical patterns are deeply tied to regional dialects, mapping perfectly to the natural conversational cadence of long and short syllables. The uneven beats also physically propel the dancers. The specific length of the musical blocks dictates the sharp, intricate footwork of regional line dances. In the Bulgarian ruchenitsa, the physical stepping pattern maps directly to the music. The feet move in a quick, slow sequence, translating the 2-2-3 mathematical blocks precisely into kinetic motion. Eastern meter is an acoustic mirror of human anatomy, capturing both the spoken rhythms of the mouth and the physical mechanics of the feet. This reveals an underlying principle of music known as the complexity budget. Because human cognitive load is finite, composers must deliberately choose what the brain focuses on. This original manuscript visually captures the Western trade-off. It provides a highly predictable, rock-solid rhythmic grid, ensuring the Westerner's brain is free to process incredibly dense, shifting vertical harmonies. The Eastern trade-off flips the equation. It provides a stable, relatively simple harmonic backdrop, often carried by a single instrument, so you can entirely lose yourself in the intoxicating mathematical complexity of horizontal rhythm. Neither system is superior to the other. They simply measure time differently to optimize for completely different dimensions of human expression. This was brought to you by Notes and Silences. Thank you for listening.